like and subscribe.
Well, okay, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Okay. On their journey, they spotted some corpses and they helped bury them. Xiaowu, looks like you have a lot to say on that topic about creatures. Distance. So the 7 students and the headmaster and Tang San's mentor, they travel a long distance to get to the destination where the upcoming competition is. And also along the way, they probably stop at places where they have never ever been to. Yeah, like the desert. There's like a village or town in the desert. Reunion. Basically, Tang San and Xiaowu, they reunite with someone they used to know back in their old academy. Brutal. So, along the way, they notice a lot of brutality. They see a lot of corpses outside the towns, the desert town, and it's just brutal. It's a very brutal scene of corpses or, people tied up and left to rot out in the desert. So not a very pleasant scene, especially for newcomers coming to the place. So a memorable scene is where the group are traveling together and we see this long montage scene of them traveling. So before that, Tang San and Dai Mobai actually agreed to join the competition, and with that decision, everyone else decides to join them. Basically, they're in it together, so they end up going with them as well. So it's not really just Tang San and Dai Mobai going there. It's like everyone's going there because it's a good opportunity. Yeah, you get to not only fight in an upcoming competition, but you also get an opportunity to join another school academy. More and more enjoyable as we see them exploring the world around them. So as they land themselves in the desert, they notice some corpses, and just be warned, if some of you don't like seeing these things, it's definitely not a pleasant sight to see. Yeah, for newcomers to, walk into a desert and just see a bunch of corpses rotting out. And for Xiaowu and Tang San, they meet up with an old friend they knew back in the school academy that they used to attend, full of mixed feelings, as we find that this old friend has gone through a different lifestyle choice, new hairstyle, also a new power change. Definitely gone through a lot. Tang San, don't join them. They don't sound like good people. Oh, Dai Mobai, you're making it so obvious that you like Zhu Qing. Oh my god. Sandstorm. Literally a sandstorm happened. Selfless. A lot of saving people. Like the fact that, people put themselves at risk just to save others. Separation. So there's 2 separations. The first one is when the group separates from each other. Osaka and Ma Hongjun are together. Dai Mobai, Zhu Qing, and Ning Rongrong are together, and Xiaowu, Tang San, and Hu Weina are together. And the second one is that we find out that the baby creature is actually separated from the mother. So that's that's actually a separation there, and we see the mother the mother creature just like roaming around just to find their child. At the beginning of the episode, we see that Tang San and Xiaowu say goodbye to the group, but the sandstorm happens. Now, I previously said that the group separates. What I didn't mention is that the tutor, so Tang San's mentor, who's also the teacher at the school, at the academy, and the headmaster of the academy, their whereabouts is unknown. Like, we have not seen them ever since the beginning of the episode, and then during the sandstorm, we have not seen much of them, so their whereabouts is unknown. Another thing we find out, a really memorable scene, is that we find out the reason behind the sandstorm happening. It happened because a mother creature, or a parent, we should say, a parent creature got angry that their baby was taken away from them, and that caused the sandstorm, ? Not really sure how that works, but maybe it just, caused the sandstorm to happen. Anyway, the sandstorm happened, and basically the person who took the baby is now blamed for taking the baby. The person blamed, the job he needs to do is actually to take the baby back to their parent. But Tang San was like, nope, I'm gonna do it instead. Yeah, so it's gonna be like Tang San and Xiao Wu taking the baby back to the parent. Yay! The sandstorm's gone. His friend is the one that's crazy. Maybe they're lying though. Maybe your dad isn't a part of them. Savior. So Tang San stands up to the people who are savages and becomes the savior of the village. Together. So when Tang San says he wants to fight the savage people alone, the other 6 students are just like, nope, we're not gonna let you do that. We have to do things together. Match the 7 students versus the savage group of people. Following from the previous episode, Tang San and Xiao Wu end up taking the baby creature back to their parent, and doing that stops the sandstorm. So the sandstorm's gone, but then they have to face the savage group of people who still want to kill the person responsible for taking the baby. And really sadly, unfortunately, that person gets killed. So Tang San, because he sees this kind of image of them just killing people, he ends up standing up to them, challenging them to a fight. He gets the support from the villagers. The villagers' faces light up when they see Tang San, because they know that Tang San is kind of like their savior that's going to save them from the doom. Tang San also created new weapons to kind of use it in the match against them, and so we're going to be seeing a lot of that new weapon being demonstrated in the match. Yep, Daimo Bai just has to protect his bae. What the heck is that? Wait, I'm so confused. What the heck was that? Huh? Osuku and Ma Hongju are literally like a comedy duo. They have apples? Oh my god! Victory. So, they won. They won the match against those savage group of people. Tool. So we realized the savage group of people were actually used as tools, and they weren't actually treated as human beings. Yeah. And if you see, they end up, their time of being a tool gets expired, and soon, and when tools get expired, they don't have any usage anymore. So let's just keep it up to there. fancy. So when they go to 天斗城 Kingdom, it's a very fancy place. There's even apples. Yeah, apples, food. You can take a shower. Each person can get their own room. It's like luxury. Yeah, it's like an upgrade living. So one of the memorable scenes is the fight scene. The match between them, the 7 students and the savage people. And they end up winning. So all their hard work has paid off. So the quote man, aka called 叶知秋, he reappears in the village and he ends up killing the savage people, which, yeah, there's no more to it. It's just he just ends up killing them. And at that moment, I kind of felt a bit pity towards Tang San's friend, but actually on second thought, I knew they were just minions being used, so pity, not pity. Okay, so the group arrive at 天斗城王 Tiandocheng Kingdom. It's a very fancy place. Yeah, it's a big place. It's big, luxurious, lots of people, lots of resources. Nice.